Oh, what the hell? Hello everyone, my name's Kai Zammit. I'm a director, cinematographer and writer, and today, thanks to you guys, we are looking at the 3 cinematics for Starcraft 2. How these videos work is I break it down into 2 parts. The first part I watch and react to said medium. The second part of the video is I break it down as a filmmaker. I look at it again. Video editing, cinematography, was it a certain lens style that they used, or even story? Whatever it may be, hopefully by the end of today's video you'd have learned something or seen a glimpse behind the curtain when it comes to storytelling and filmmaking. But first, a quick word about this video's sponsor, Atlas VPN. Right now, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount, an 85% discount. It's the best VPN deal in the market. This summer deal gets you Atlas VPN Premium for $1.83 per month and an additional 3 months extra. It also includes a 30-day money-back guarantee. Be quick as it is a limited time offer. Get your deal by clicking the link in the description below. Atlas VPN is a virtual private network which makes all your internet traffic travel through a protected encrypted tunnel. This way it protects you from spying, Wi-Fi dangers, and it also hides your IP address. Atlas VPN protects you from malware, pop-up ads and all the other nasty things on the internet. My favourite thing about using Atlas VPN, other than feeling safe online, is the ability to view content which is specific to another country. This is how I get access to films and anime on streaming services like Netflix. Actually, here's an example for my American viewers. Rick and Morty, I know it isn't available in the US Netflix, but in the UK where I am, it actually is. God save the king. You can use Atlas VPN on pretty much any device, so Windows, Apple, iOS and Android. So again, this summer deal gets you Atlas VPN Premium for $1.83 per month and the additional 3 months extra. Not to mention the 30-day money-back guarantee if it's not really your thing. But you've got to be quick. As I said, time is running out. Tick, tick, tick. Get yours today by clicking the link in the description below. And lastly, thank you so much to Atlas VPN for sponsoring this video. Let's get on with it, shall we? Play the tape.
They say a man never really knows himself.
Okay, we're going down that road, are we? Powerful voiceover. Oh, I like that.
Until his freedom's been taken away.
Oh, this is lovely. The use of smoke, man, seriously, it just makes every shot look so much cooler.
How well do you know yourself?
What's in there? Is that him talking, is it? Or the person that is talking? Whoa.
Forward onto the platform.
I like that, he's just being lit by the cigar. That's really nice. Oh, I did hear that right, a prisoner. This looks really good. It's old, I believe. Or at least this first one's quite old. But already I'm drawn in. Use of camera work, the smoke, the sound. Reminds me of Halo, that does.
Convict 626. Murderer. Pirate. Traitor.
So not a nice man then.
You go free.
Oh, that kind of freedom.
But as you'll soon learn, even freedom has a price.
It's going to look like a big like space marine or something, or... Okay, I was right then. Even had the blue. I love the design work. It's a bit transformery. You can see all the mechanical parts. Wow, this is great. What's his helmet look like? It's all about the helmet.
And locked.
You'll carry your prison with you. That armor will be your new cell.
Oh, that's good.
Make no mistake. War is coming. With all its
The hell?
glory.
I wasn't expecting like monsters or anything.
and all its horror. Mr. Findlay, your freedom awaits.
Hell, it's about time.
Okay. I knew he had to have a speech there, had to really sort of have that climactic moment. Starcraft 2, Wings of Liberty. I really like that. That's, to me, straight away, before I even watch the next ones, that's really drawn me in. And I'm ready to watch the other ones. I'm really excited. This was almost, to me, like a teaser. Is that what it was? Oh, yeah, it is. It's a teaser trailer, isn't it? So, let's go. Oh, I love those shots. Too good. Do you know what I was thinking? Is that
I am the swarm. Armies will be shattered. Worlds will burn.
okay? This has gone up. Oh, whoa. Okay, there's the human soldiers from the previous one. Whoa, I'm getting Starship Troopers vibes from this. Oh, and Transformers, yes please. Oh, where did that zoom on there? On them? Loving the design work. The size of it. Wow, this production value's gone up a bit, innit, from the last one. Oh, hell, that stupid sound effect.
Now at last, on this world, vengeance shall be mine.
Yo! The scale on this one is completely different. Whoa, look at her!
I am the Queen of Blades.
Wow, she looks awesome. The Queen of Blades. Oh, what the hell? Was that a dream? Oh, that probably led me on. I have no idea what to think to that, except that was wicked. That was amazing. The difference in production values immediately went up. I don't know if there was a huge time leap between these two, but that was amazing. And then it was a dream. Oh, it literally makes me want to play the game. I don't even know what sort of game it is. I think it's an RTS, it's what I believe. Oh, let's watch the next one. The first one was good, but that last one really raised the bar. Okay, I'm getting sense of scale already.
Brought ruin to our world.
Oh, we lost?
Our proud people became refugees.
Tell us a year.
And
Oh!
yet, they could not shatter our unity.
Oh, this is cool.
For we are bound by the Kala, the sacred union of our every thought and emotion.
Loving this slow motion part. Whoa. This is amazing. All the effects, all the cool power. Helping his comrade out. Good boy. Oh, it's one of these big ones again, is it? Oh, we're gonna get like a big kaiju battle, are we? Yo! This is awesome. Oh, he sacrificed himself. Well, they did. Wow. Come on then. Here we go.
Today, we retake our homeworld. And with it, our legacy.
That was really good. Wow. They were great. I really enjoyed them. The production values changed dramatically from the first one on such a smaller scale, a bit more of a teaser, to then go on to the second one, again with the humans. The third one confused me a little bit because I actually thought it was a post-scene, oh, we've lost the war, I'm guessing from what I've seen on here. But no, it looks like it's a completely different world, planet, species. My initial reaction is, after watching these three, especially the second one, that got me the most excited. It made me actually want to play the game. So to start off with Wings of Liberty, we had that black screen and it came in with a powerful voiceover. And what I love about voiceover is it's also known as the voice of God. You can use voiceover in multiple ways, but in this way, they gave us information in bite-sized nuggets. And that's the point of a voiceover. It's not there to tell you the whole story, it's there to make you think, make you ask questions, or potentially reflect what you're thinking inside your head. And that's the power of VO. You can use it in multiple ways. But in this way, it was more primarily to give us that information in bite-sized nuggets about this character that we're watching sort of come out of his prison. There was the haze and smoke and the use of it. In most films and TV shows that you watch, every shot is primarily got a smoke machine in it or a smoke haze filling the air. But why? With my clients, we get it all the time, is if I bring out the smoke machine or a haze machine, they go, what on earth are you using that for? Well, we're actually using it to thicken the air. By having the air nice and thick, you can visually see it on screen, and it gives you that really nice texture to it, to your shots. This is how we get the God rays to come through windows and when you see it in shots and movies, or it really shows the shape of a light source, and that is by using haze or smoke. And in this case, they use it to sort of build the atmosphere. Could you imagine what this film would look like without any haze or smoke? It would just look really boring. So by having the haze and smoke in there, it gives it that really nice texture and gritty look, which helps build the scene. The Wings of Liberty story really drew me in straight from the word get-go. But why did it do that, and how? The reason being is because there was no music. It was only sound effects and voiceover, and the voiceover happened on a black screen.
They say a man never really knows himself.
So by the time all the visuals started happening, all I could see and hear was all the mechanisms going on. And so by doing that for 7 seconds, I was drawn in. Why did I mention 7 seconds? Well, it's actually following the 7-second rule of marketing. It's so important. You have 7 seconds to draw someone in and to invest them into your story. If you can't do that, they are gone. They're scrolling on to the next item. Draw them in, hook them, get them invested into your story. And this did that by having just sound effects and no music. And then after having no music and just sound effects, then you get the payoff with the riser. A riser is a piece of music or a note that will start out very low and go ooh, it builds, it draws you in. And so when the door opens, that's why it ends. It's like, whoop, the door opens and there's your character. That's when the music starts to play. Then you had the beautiful character shots that formed the identity of him. Just to support this argument, there was the shot of the character, and then just as the shot was on him, then you got the voiceover or the prisoner thing saying, prisoner, please step onto the platform, just to support that argument, to say, hey, he's a prisoner. So as I said, you had those character shots to sort of build him up. They're all rule of thumb is if you say something, then you should see it, especially with documentaries. So if I'm talking about a great big red London bus, for example, I'm going to show you a big great red London bus. So in this case, we're talking about prisoner. So we hear prisoner, or we hear prisoner and then we see the prisoner. But then you had the character getting ready, so the suit up moment, the superhero shots. These suit up moments is about building momentum. It's there to give the audience that moment of, oh, something's about to happen, it's about to get really good. With the suit ups, what you want to do is lots of close-ups, bring the camera really tight, show off all the intricate detail, the information. First thing that comes to mind when I sort of think suit up shots is the Batman ones. I personally really love these suit up moments. I think they're fantastic. One of my favourite ones is from Batman Forever, not because he's good, just because of a certain shot. Then you get the story payoff, and that is, what is this suit going to be used for? This is how you hook your audience. This is the enemy, these are the battles that I'm going to be facing. It's basically foreshadowing, and foreshadowing is a narrative tool for storytellers. It's a way to tell the audience or give them a hint of what's yet to come with the story. Then to close, we finally get to hear what the character sounds like.
Hail.
It's not the VO and it's not the computer telling us what it is. We finally get him and to hear his voice, because he's been quiet the whole time. So it's a reward at the end when we finally get to hear him, and he comes out with a beautiful one-liner which just emphasises how badass he is. I love a one-liner, it's very 80s, and yeah, it's right up my alley.
It's about time.
Then we've got the heart of the swarm. It's a new film, it's a new scene. So what do we need? We need an establishing shot. An establishing shot is there to tell the audience where we are and give us context of the world that we're in. You would normally find these at the beginning of a film or beginning of a new location within a film that you're watching. Again, it's there to help tell the viewer of where we are before we start getting close-ups of scenes and things like that. They introduce us to a new subject, and that is the fighter jets. They come swooping in, and what happens is it grabs our attention and then helps us lead on to the next part of the story. What I really liked about this is when they sort of flew past, the camera shaked a little bit just for a few frames on each plane, just to emphasize the power and the motion. If it didn't do that, it wouldn't have been as cool, but because it did shake, it just emphasized that shot, and I loved it. It was one of my favorite shots from the second film. Then we had the POV shot, the first person perspective, the fighter pilot flying. Even though we didn't see any hands, it still had that visual look with the lens type. And he looks up and he sees this mighty beast. It just helped sort of enforce that narrative of, wow, look at the size of that, what the hell is that? As soon as I saw that, I kind of knew that this film was about scale. Just from that shot alone, I was like, what is that? That is enormous. I've got a feeling bigger things are yet to come. Well, maybe not as big as that, but things bigger than what a human would be. With storytelling, it's all about the flow. You had those jellyfish drop pods. They were there to get us to the ground, and we followed their trajectory. They fired out, we can see the ground from their perspective, then it cuts to the ground, you're looking up. It was just a lovely transition, a lovely flow. If it was just from the ship and then suddenly you saw a shot from down below, it'd be a little bit jarring, it wouldn't be as nice. So far, this story's absolutely nailed that flow, following the thread. And so following the thread of the drop pods coming down, crashing into the ground, it then releases the next characters, or the race, which is the swarm. To emphasize the carnage and the destruction and things like that, they use a hell of a lot of crash zoom ins and a lot of crash zoom outs. By doing this, it emphasizes the scale. But why? Because it's on a telephoto lens, it emphasizes the destruction, because what happens is it compresses the background when you film something or shoot something on a telephoto lens. By compressing the background, one little bit of movement with the camera will feel astronomically different. It will really over dramatize what you're feeling and seeing. So when you get car scenes, crash scenes, fight scenes that happen from a distance, when we film them on a telephoto lens, it makes the punch, kick, crash, bang, wallop, whatever it may be, look extra dramatic, because just that slight bit of movement will really over dramatize what you're seeing on camera. One of my favorite things about a telephoto lens, as I said, compresses the background. It also lets you get shots like this.
Shit just got real.
One of my favourite parts, where I almost frothed in my pants, was the transforming ship. The way it came around the corner on a wide, then it zoomed in, you saw it transform, it zoomed out, and it come crashing down, and it slid into camera view. Now that is how you do a transformation scene, and it actually looks really, really similar to a Transformers scene from the first, Transformers movie. If you're going to have anything like that, have it start away, transform, or come crashing down and slide into shot. What's very clever about this whole scene is the camera is static, it's from one point, it looks around the corner, it zooms in, what is going on, it zooms out, the action comes to the camera. Obviously then the ship transforming thing gets knocked to the side, we then do a 180 and we see where it's going, but then it crash zooms in on the different subjects in the background. What I love about that, by crash zooming in, it then introduces again, we're following that flow, following that thread. It's absolutely fantastic. We had a couple of shots of the cannons and the build up of it transforming. I love that, I thought that's fantastic. Another thing about that is it allowed us to have a beat, it allowed us to breathe within the film. Fight scenes and battle scenes, it's all about pacing, it can't be just carnage all the time because otherwise it all gets lost in the mix. You have to have those moments like this to build something, to slow it down, to then kick off again. So the cannons start firing and it hits the swarm, but what I loved about this, it was character development. But for the swarm, no matter what you hit them with, they kept on coming. It almost gave you that overwhelming presence, which is very cleverly done because it's exactly how the humans felt in the film. They felt overwhelmed, and it made me feel overwhelmed by watching it because they just kept on coming. It was fantastic. With all good things, there must come something bad, and in this case, it was the Wilhelm scream. It was a scream the character made when the bug or the creature come crashing down on him. I guarantee you would have heard it. I'll just give you a few now. It's a very famous scream and it's been haunting our screens since 1951. So many directors and that use it because it is funny and it's got a comical value to it. But sadly for me, because I've heard it so many times in the past and because of what it is, it just pulled me out of this amazing experience. You've got to be so careful with that. You don't want to take your audience member out of this experience. It completely tarnishes it. The moment they come out of it, you've kind of ruined it. It's hard to get them back in. It wasn't enough to completely ruin it for me. It did make me look away. And me looking away from screen means I'm losing information. It means I'm not sucked in or drawn into this world still. And you don't want that. Then we got the reveal of the Queen. They had that beautiful low angle shooting up at her. What that does is it gives her power and has that power status. But with this film, they took it even further than just giving her power. They made her put one leg up. By putting one leg up, it also enhances visually of how strong she is. It almost gives them a sort of cockiness look to it. But what I really liked is how she lifted her leg up and almost slammed her foot down, almost as if squashing a bug, because for her, that's what she sees the human race as. It was almost like an insect, which is fantastic because considering that's a swarm, almost like insects, and then she sees the humans as an insect, and then her foot come crashing down. It was very clever. It was very clever writing, and I really enjoyed that. The film ended on another foreshadowing scene, just like the first one. The character woke up from this dream sequence, or whatever it may be. For me, an outsider looking in, I don't know the story, but it told me that we're going to see this character become the Queen or whatever this is taking place. It's a foreshadowing. It's giving us a hint, a clue of what's yet to come. You guys will have to let me know down in the comment section if it played out like that. Was it a dream sequence? Did we see this character become this killer, badass villain? You guys will have to let me know. And then finally we're on to Legacy of the Void. This was really interesting. The way they introduced it is because we had the establishing shot, but we also had the voiceover and then an introductory of a massive score component to it. So it's taking a little bit from the first two, making a hybrid together with the score to make something really fresh and new. Very cleverly, they use the visual narrative, so the camera movement and camera position, to tell the audience member where this race or being is in the war. It also backs up the voiceover that we've already heard. He's already said that they've lost their world, so visually we're seeing that they've lost their world and where they stand in the position of being really low, camera angle looking up. Okay, this is the losing side of the war. To help us introduce the voiceover or the hero, the main protagonist, they did a nice close-up of him. You normally do it at a forehead to under chin shot. By having that close-up shot and the voiceover together, it basically tells our brains that this is the alien or the character, the protagonist, that is speaking. They use that slow motion shot to help character development, basically world build. It allows us time to hear what he's saying and how these creatures work. Again, more world building. A little bit of camera movement for you if you if you're interested, that movement that they use to go round them, that 180 or that 360 look, is called an orbiting shot, or it's also known as a circle strafe. So if anyone asks you, what's that really cool looking shot? You can be like, hey, I know what that's called. That's an orbiting shot, or some people in certain circles call it a circle strafe. The battle scene itself had a beautiful flow, and the reason why it worked so well and looked so lovely is because one character would do something or react to the swarm, whatever, the other character would see it and then react upon that information that has been seen. And I love that. It just, rather than jump cuts going from here, one character jumping in doing this, another character jumping in doing that, it had a lovely flow. This character looked at that person being destroyed, and then this character interacted with another character to do something else. Now that is how you do a beautiful fight scene when there's multiple characters. Just let it flow. Something will happen and the other character will react to it, and that was done beautifully. I really like some of the slower paced moments within the battle, when the mage looking character fell to the floor and the other mage type hero came flying over, or did that weird effect over to him, and he picked him up. It just slowed the pace down. It gave us a beat. But not only that, it allows us to empathise with the characters. It gives us that human connection. And by having that human connection, so when they sacrifice themselves in the battle a little bit later, that's why it's got a bit more weight to it, because we had that moment to connect with the characters, that on that human trait. Even though they're an alien, there was that human connection there. And then you had that brilliant kaiju moment, or the big monsters sort of duking it out, and I love that. When watching creatures fight or very large beings fight, you have to slow the motion down, or at least the movement down. And the reason being is, with that size comes weight. If it was running at normal speed, so how we normally see, like this, it wouldn't look right. For example, this is why Power Rangers suffered back in the day. It looked like guys in suits, or the Zords fighting the monsters, because it was running at normal speed. To make it look great, you have to slow the footage down, or at least change the frame rate so it emphasises that it looks like it's a slow motion. And that's what this film done fantastic. Every time one of the monsters or one of the creatures started swinging, the very large ones, it looked very heavy, it looked slower. It almost gave our brain to connect a little bit more and go, oh, he's coming in for a big right hook. Oh, he's hit him in the ribs here. Oh, he's grabbing him by the throat. Because they're heavy from down below where we are looking up. It's all about scale, and yeah, they've done that really, really well. They're big and they're heavy, and so with every movement it's slowed down. Yeah, really well done. Going back to the sacrifice, when that black hole effect happens, they've done a really clever trick with the camera movement. Again, the visual narrative, as the black hole or that thing happens, the camera tracks in slightly as if to tell you that it's sucking you in, it's got such a presence or a force pulling you, and then as it finishes, the camera does a very slow dolly back or a tracking motion back just to sort of reset. Little things like that I absolutely love, and for me, I call those the devil in the details. And lastly, you had the hero on the knee shot. And what does this mean? Normally what happens is it changes the pace of the story. But ultimately what it does, it shows that your hero, your protagonist, is game over. All hope is lost. And normally what happens is after they fall into their knees, something will happen in the story. They then get up and they start winning and building momentum, and ultimately they normally win the battle. Now you know this information, you should look out for it. If you ever see a character or a villain hero go to their knees, say to yourself, I bet they're gonna win. And normally 9 times out of 10 they do. It's the same thing when you get the bad guys, they pull a knife out or they pull a weapon of some description, a gun. They always lose. If you ever see a knife come out, you know they're going to lose. And there you have it. That was my thoughts and reaction on the Starcraft 2 cinematics. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, guys, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, as it really does help out the channel. And would you like to see some more? Well, over there, I've got to put another reaction video for you. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.